Assalamu alaikum everybody, hope you're all doing well. Trying to make up for a few more posts again. So I did this apartment search around, it was either the end of February or the 1st of March. Very interesting thing. Always good to do when you're in a new country or trying to learn a language, to go and search for an apartment. It's just a great opportunity to talk with people. It took me about half a day to do that. Um, Interesting thing, I've talked about sexual harassment before in Egypt. When I first went out there and I started to ask for directions, I see two young guys and I start talking to them and I'm like, hey, can I please get some directions? And usually the first question you're asked is, where are you from? Totally irrelevant to the direction question. And as we're talking, mid-conversation, the guy's walking. He tells me, hold on. There's this innocent little girl. I mean, she's not even doing anything. It's late at night. She's just walking to herself, keeping herself, not doing anything, not dressed provocatively or anything. He turns around and starts yelling at her and totally harassing her. I really wanted to punch him in the face, and I was not happy. But thus is the situation, unfortunately. Um, as it is, and even though we look at all the sexual harassment and stuff, we have to realize that also in the big cities in the US, it also happens. And I don't think it's a strange thing for someone to be walking down the street and someone to start yelling at them or whistling or saying provocative remarks either. So I'm trying to make a connection between the two things because I don't want to be totally biased. And I figure that my bias will go away when returning to the US and then sort of putting everything more in perspective again. So I started to look at apartments, and I noticed that a lot of places have low standard of living, low standards of living. I stayed in the Ibrahimia area, and when I was looking over there, I went to different people and was asking them about the prices of their apartments. The interesting thing is that everybody was trying to cheat me, trying to somehow, while talking to me, trying to give me a lower price or a higher price, sorry, than than the place was actually worth. When I went to one lady and I spoke to her, she was telling me that the place was, I don't remember how much, 2,000, and I told her that I lived in a place, and I told her how much I was paying for it, and she straight up called me a liar in front of my face. So I just replied by saying, I don't lie about serious things, and I'm not saying I don't lie, which I do, but not about such things. So I just basically was getting up to walk out, and she's like, "No, no, 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 I'm just kidding." I guess it's just part of the conversation or part of the negotiation. It's just a natural thing that has to happen. I thought that was interesting. I went into some very weird places I shouldn't have gone into, places that were very, very ghetto. And just when coming in, I was like, this place does not match and is not suitable for what I want and what my roommate wants. But I felt so rude to just say, you know what, I'm totally not interested. So I stayed there. And at one of the weirdest places, people were just screaming. It was very loud. Um, there were these old ladies, and they must have been senile or crazy or something wrong mentally. And one of them like sat next to me and really close, and I was feeling uncomfortable. Thank God there was also the bawab or the doorman there, and I had just met him on the street because I was just going from street to street and asking people where I could find a place. And at the end, she asked to use my phone, which was weird, but I was like, okay, whatever. Here, it was just a quick 1 minute phone call, and I never got a call back from that number, so alhamdulillah. But at the end, she asked me for £3, 3 Egyptian pounds, so she could buy some cigs. And I was like, I don't smoke, nor do I want to pay for you to smoke because it's hurting your health. And she's like, oh, you're a sheikh, aren't you? And I was like, no, no, no. I'm just concerned about health. So she's like, okay, don't give me three, just give me £5, and I won't tell you what I'm going to use them for, as if that's a solution for that. So I gave her that, do you think I'm stupid look, and just told her this is not normal, and walked away. I looked at 7 places and wanted to share a phrase that I learned in Egyptian. اللي بيتحرق بالشوربة بينفخ في الزبادي, which I learned in Ammiya class. And I'm trying to really take the stuff that I learned in the Egyptian colloquial class and put it into practice. So at the last apartment that I saw, there was this one bawab who made me wait like 45 minutes, and I ended up calling him a week later, and he was like, you better hurry, because I'll be waiting for you, even though the place is right next to his house, as if I'm going to make him late, even though he's the one who made me wait. So I was sitting in the coffee shop and I'd forgotten the phrase exactly. So I went to one of the guys who was sitting next to me and I was like, "Hey, can you please help me? There's this phrase that you Egyptians say. It has to do with, um, and I didn't translate it. Sorry. It's whoever gets burned by the soup will blow even on yogurt because he learned from his mistakes." So I asked him and he helped me out. He said it for me. So I was like, "Thank you very much." Now, when I went to the doorman and I was like, "I'm looking for a place," he's like, "Yeah, but you're gonna buy it. You're gonna start renting today, right?" And I told him, "No, my roommate's not here. He's out of town. I have to wait. I'm just gonna look at the places and whatever's good, I'll tell my roommate. Then we'll come. We'll see it, and if we like it, then we'll go ahead and pay you the arbun, which is just an initial payment, just to try to tell them that you're serious about this thing and reserve the place. Think of it as a sort of deposit, but it actually applies toward the rent." Um, so he's like, "No, no, no, that doesn't happen." And so I told him the story of what happened with the other doorman, and I was like, "And you know how the saying goes, and this is the culture here." So I said the first half, and I was like, "Whoever gets burned with soup," and then he continued it. He's like, "Even blows," and he's like, "Yeah, but not everybody's like each other. Not everybody's a cheater." And I was like, "Okay, well, show me." And then he actually showed it to me, so that was really beneficial. And then ended up actually finding an apartment in Miami, which is out east, but I'll talk about that in another post, inshallah. Shukran. Assalamu alaikum.